What's up,
Hello.
everybody?
Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, Coffee and Convo. Say hi, say hello, say where you're watching from. We love all the things and seeing where everybody's coming from on this Thursday of the week.
Today, we are going to lift your mug. We are going to talk about people and money and the different approaches. So we have love right in the middle.
Okay. Okay.
we have love right in the middle because a lot of money.
Money is like the number one thing most of the time.
Whatever. Yeah.
No, it's true. Whatever is attached to that.
I wasn't just going to apply this to marriage though. So
you're saying love is in the middle now. Why that?
Because in any relationship, whether it's marriage or business or whatever, there's a different approach to money, and that can cause frustration or misunderstanding and grind, and therefore love is the center. But when it comes to marriage, you are correct in what you wanted to say. That is a big stress factor for people.
Stress factor.
Or a area of possible conflict or disagreement and things. But we'll get into that. So
that's what we're going to be chatting about today. So go chat with us in the chat. Wow, that's a whole lot of chat. And let us know if you have any questions or comments while we're talking. Please interact. And
the camera is a little bit skew, and that's annoying, but cheers.
It was a whole thing to get on, guys. This is take 2.
That's that's exaggeration. My need for accuracy sees the cameras is skewed.
Well, this is take 2, and it's been a minute since to get
you guys are awesome. Cheers. Here's to you.
Yes, you are perfect the way you are, and we celebrate all of you.
Right.
All of you individual, all of you.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. Money.
Yeah, so money. So when you think about money, obviously, when we're talking different approaches, there are life experiences and things that happen that also shape. So we're not necessarily getting into frustration or experiences.
Oh, we're not? I was going to go there right away.
With people, we're coming from more of the personality side and approach.
Absolutely.
So this is not absolute of what we're talking about.
We're talking out of our experience, right?
Well, it's general natural approaches, and we're going to discuss our differences. So when you think about money or you look to have money, what is your first?
My first thing is freedom. That's my first thing.
Okay.
First thing
is freedom for what?
To spend and to do whatever I want to do.
Interesting.
Because
that is more. So as you guys know, she is more. She is first primarily an I and then a D,
I am an I and an
or an advancer and then a creator. I am primarily a C and then an S.
Total opposites.
So I am a refiner and an executor. So that statement is more of a creator, a D statement, actually, which is funny.
So, and maybe that is funny. What would I say? More experience?
Right.
Yeah. Money is more of a way to experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a D or a creator, you would hear a lot. They're looking, and so if you have this applies whether it's in business or in relationships, whatever it is. That personality wants to be able to make decisions and do what they want when they want, and so its first approach is like I have the ability to do what I want right now.
Yeah.
Like time is valuable, and so the longer I have to wait, mess around to be able to do what I want or accomplish what I want, I'm going to do it now. Yeah. Where the I and the advancer tends to be more about like I want to have some fun, I want to have experiences, I
Well,
want the
and so
freedom
that comes
for
to
change.
doing what I want to do is always that,
Okay.
right? So it is definitely connected to that. But if I don't have the freedom,
And remember, you're a mixture of numerous of these,
yeah.
and so even
Absolutely.
like Esther here, you'll have different things that come into play, and it'll be like this is your approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my initial thing is like freedom. Like I see it as freedom. I see it as something that I could do with and experience whatever I would want to. Of course, that is if that's what the money is allocated for, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, how about you?
For me, so when I think of money, my primary approach being first the C, the refiner, is to eliminate wastes.
Yeah.
Like wasted resources don't go well with me or with a C. That's why they make great chief financial officers, accountants, and stuff because they're going to be accurate. CFOs. But they don't like the waste, and so I'm always looking. Okay, first, how do we not waste this on whatever that is, useless things?
Yeah.
And then I see a process out of that. So then I'm looking. Okay, how can I build with that? Which then that kind of slides into secondarily the S, the executor. They want to create stability in situations and in life. So their approach with money is not as much eliminating waste and creating maybe a process or building something there. They're saying, hey, how do we create stability in life? Right. How do we create stability in this situation? So money to them the first approach would be, how do we stabilize? How do we, just eliminate the risks that, they would probably look to pay off things that are owed, debt. Earlier than the D's and the I's, they take some more risk with the money to have experience and to try new things and to do new things and to build new, or grow new things, where the C and the S is they look more to take care of things that are coming in advance, eliminate that pressure.
Look ahead in that way.
To flatten things out, yes.
And then invest as well.
Sure, but not as risky. So it doesn't mean the D's and the I's won't invest.
Long term.
Well, the D's and the I's might be more long term, but they'll be risky because they'll be looking for bigger growth, bigger opportunities. When they're taking money, they're okay. Let's go get what we want, or we see the big potential. Where the C's and the S's, they're looking more for slower and steady a little more because they don't want the dips. They can't handle, or it doesn't work well for who they are and their energy for the quick drops and the changes in that aspect. Right.
Words that we've used, my initial thing is that might make more sense is like I'm a spender. In our relationship, I'm more of a spender and you are more of a, what was that word you would use the other day? Trimmer? Trimmer? Is that the word you used?
No.
That's what you said. You're more of a trimmer. Or
So.
What would you say?
Oh, you're talking about like trimming access expenses or
yes. Yeah. So you're gonna save.
So I'll consolidate.
Invest,
I'll look
you won't do anything as in spending that is instant and does not make sense and bring a return, or it's not going to bring some efficiency or whatever in life.
Yes, my first approach would trim things down to cut out the waste.
Okay.
Versus expanding out. Yeah. So that's my first initial natural approach to things. Yes.
Yeah. So when you're in a relationship, so how does that work? Because we've been in this relationship for 17 years and we're still figuring things out. Okay.
Right.
When it comes to money, because that is my experience has been that you either lean one way or the other. And how do you find that good middle ground? Because it's attached to who you are, right? So there's a good thing about that. Like, that's an awesome gift to have, to see where the wasted things are when it comes to money, so that you can actually have purpose to your money and have it grow and be really good with it. What I have is also a gift, right? Because you can make all the money in the world, but if you don't experience life with it and actually celebrate things, celebrate yourself, people in your life, achievements, goals you have achieved, I mean, what does that money mean? Like a number in your bank account or a number in your investments? So what? You're gonna die and then what? Like, you gotta live life. That's me. That's the experience of it.
Yeah.
So there's gifts in each. However,
yeah. So all of them are valuable, and one's not any less valuable than the other.
Right.
So first of all, when you guys are looking at your relationship and what's up, Allison? How's it going?
What's up, girl?
So what that approach is to first recognize that, hey, we are bringing, no matter where you find yourself falling in the personality styles and your approach to money, that it's valuable and it's important.
That's first and foremost.
Yeah,
because you might think, especially if you're super opposite, that it's not good, And
so, for example, back a few years ago in our lives, like I wanted to build things for my family, take care of my family. So out of that desire, I trimmed things back and was like, hey, we're going to take a lot of what's coming in and invest it and build for the future. Like, not take a lot of risks and not spend a lot and not enjoy. So out of that desire and that goodness, I shrunk things down and we invested and we built things up. Now, the flip side is it became a little frustrating to you because you wanted to live and have more experiences and create more fun for us, which is part of life. Fun, if you're not having fun, if you're not enjoying life. Right. So I was getting to the end of that time and becoming frustrated because we weren't also enjoying life, even though we were building and investing for the future. And so in the middle of that, you were getting frustrated because you were like, we are not experiencing enough. We're not creating enough fun, which is also out of a good heart. It's saying, and value, hey, if you're not living life, if you're not enjoying it, what life are you doing? You can't live everything for tomorrow. There has to be today. So, some of you may say about your spouse, or you just want, now I'm drawing a blank, but immediate.
You want to take care and you want to.
No, but we tell our kids that the high personalities of our kids, gratification, instant gratification.
Oh, instant gratification. Yes. Yeah, right.
So you can see some of the personality styles. It's like,
absolutely.
Hey, we want it and we want it now, and we want to experience something that's fun. Like, let's not think about tomorrow. Let's live in the moment. Yeah. And that to some of us can seem like instant gratification, and that it's like, well, you just want to waste everything. The optimistic personality. It's like checks. Still used in America. The more checks in the checkbook, the more money we have. That doesn't actually equate to anything. But the optimistic viewpoint's like, oh, hey, there's an extra whatever we can go do. So
so that's a real thing. That is a real thing, because at one point in our journey together, in our marriage, in our business, in us doing well, and in all areas of life, really. But I'm not, he is the finances and all that, right? I'm not a number person. He's very gifted in that. Great. and there was a situation, we were talking about numbers, and we were talking about our money, and I don't know what the conversation, what the purpose of it was, but I found out, a certain number. Holy cow! And I was like, anyway, it really wasn't like
get out the credit card, let's go.
No, but this is a thing, because of what you just said. I looked at how I was living in my spending, and so this is in my eye experience, okay? This is how it was real to me.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't exactly like that.
The personality style, yeah.
Yes, maybe it wasn't exactly like that. But I felt like it was still a need thing, right? I could only spend what was needed. And so now there was a little bit more room than when it was, when we really didn't have much.
When we first got married, we didn't have a ton of money,
not at all.
We built up into that.
So there was more freedom to spend in that, but it was still for needs. And so anyway, all that to say is, I didn't need to. I just lived, and it wasn't like there wasn't anything for the fun, but. Anyway, when I heard a number, I was like, well, I didn't know that. Well, why am I can go and do these things. We can go and, we can go out to eat more. We can go and do these things together.
So where some of the personalities can see that as instant gratification and wasting, the flip side is like the too much saving, investing, stabilizing, can be seen as really limiting, in just kind of being overly frugal, maybe, and and
that's what, and that's where my freedom thing comes from. Where when I fully go over in your mode, I feel the limitation, and so I don't feel the freedom. But I love a good deal, and I love, that's not necessarily, you can still.
Right. So none of this is talking about wasting or throwing. Obviously, you want to have some boundaries, right? So too much excitement over money, you can spend too much, or you could risk too much and lose it. Right. Too much safety, you're not living. You're growing slow, you're not taking opportunities, you're missing opportunities. So there's limitations on both sides. The point is, it's just recognizing who am I and who are the people around me in that approach, and then realizing that we're all bringing valuable approaches to that, and finding some middle ground, complementing each other on that. Because the creators, like, hey, I want to do what we need to do, whatever that is. And so even in business, in projects, in work, like, they'll spend whatever it needs, whatever it takes to spend to accomplish that project. So they may go a little bit over the budget, because they're like, well, because time is valuable and getting the result is valuable, whether it's in marriage or business, they're saying, I'm willing to put whatever in this, spend whatever it takes to get this accomplished, get the result in the shortest amount of time. Yeah. So whether it's to grow money, to take the risk for that, to go and do something, to build something, whatever, let's do it. You have the I that's like, hey, let's have the experience, let's have some change, let's live a little bit, let's enjoy life. So they're coming in and saying, hey, we have plenty. Let's go and do, let's live. So whatever it takes to live and have this experience and to have some change, and not the routine to do different things. And
I think with me in all of that, there's always a balance in everything. So, my initial, without any what do you call that? Not limitations, or I can't find the word. But if I have if I just let loose, right? I just want all of it. Like if I'm in my idea dreaming, I want the big, the normal, the whatever, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
all the possibilities.
Yes,
yes.
Because in our journey together, then we, you know, financially, when we were making money and all that, we didn't really budget like all the things. And so when there was a trip, or we needed to go somewhere, or we needed to go visit family, or we had an anniversary and we wanted to go somewhere, we just did that. So in that we had great experiences, but I felt always in the normal, daily life.
That's where we had to upgrade the past, because or upgrade from that, because we had gone from, you know, getting married, being tighter.
Yeah.
We began to build things up in life, which a lot of times that's the normal routine for people. So I really dug in and was like, let's build this up. Let's shrink everything down. Yeah. And then we got to the point where it's like, okay, now we've been in this space, we need to upgrade, because this is actually not working, focusing 100% on my style and strength and the way of doing it. And so then we needed to implement a system, a plan, in order, because we would do some bigger things, but we still, like for me, eating out, spending money.
And that's the value too, right?
It's like,
what you put
that's
on
an experience to her. I'm like, yo, there's no way, like, as long as the food tastes good.
No, listen.
I'm going to
we are a family of 6, and he's going to look at the end number, and he's going to be like, what? Spent this
just in general.
Right.
Like, for me to go to a restaurant and be like, oh, let's spend $100 a plate per plate on food, or whatever, or even for a meal, I'm like, yo, food's not that good. It goes in and it goes out. Like, that's, and then I go, information, right? Scientifically, the first 3 or 4 bites are the best, and then you don't taste anything after that. So I'm like, why are you spending?
I am like, oh my word, we're experiencing this. This is like, there's a whole vibe in this restaurant.
Right?
We're doing it together with our kids. We're having a good time. I don't have to cook. That makes the value go way up.
So that there's no right or wrong. Remember, it's just understanding experience. And so where we looked at, hey, the D and the I, you know, they want to get things done. The I wants the experience. The C is looking, hey, I'm okay spending money in value, in things that are worth something, quality, right? They tend to give that, and the S is stability, and let's pull that together. And so, you know, we came to the point where it's like, okay, we need to put a system in place and work with this. We're working with this JAR system. Actually, Axe Token has been putting that out, which is great.
Go find them.
Yeah.
It's an awesome system.
So the whole point is you're taking out the thought, the thinking for me, and the emotion for you.
Yeah.
And it's saying, okay, we come to an agreement together. This is the percentages with money that comes in, where it's going to go. And so
it speaks
no
to
longer
both the saving, the investing, and all of that, and the fun and the spending, so that you both get to do it from whatever comes in.
Right.
And it covers all of it, which is like, oh my word, I'm like, where was that 17 years ago? Maybe it was there, but we just, whatever.
We didn't look at that because we lean too, we focus too much on our individual strengths, right?
Yeah.
You know, so we got together and I was like, well, you just like to have fun, and it's like, well, let's take let's take this opportunity. Let's do this. Let's do that. And in the end, if we don't have money, it doesn't matter, because we had fun today. And I came in like, I'm thinking 10, 20, 50 years down the road, like, if we eat that, we could do something. And so we took our two like far opposites, and we were both kind of leaning into that until we could come into some middle ground and say, hey, what does that look like for us to build together, where we value one another, where we celebrate each other and value the parts that we bring. And so there needed to be a system in place, because leaning one way or the other ultimately.
And I think that's very important when you come together and you need to have conversations about money in your relationships, that you see the value of what you have yourself in your personality, but that you also see it from the other, because it's just gonna be a not nice conversation where you cannot recognize the value of the other person.
Right. But
you know,
I agree, except
you don't agree with
I don't
that
agree
point?
100%,
Yeah,
because
I love that.
are you able to truly see my point of view? Not necessarily. Like, you can understand, you can value me in my point of view, but it's hard to understand that. And I think that's the difference.
No, but so when I take it all down, all the trimming and the saving that annoys the hang out of me sometimes.
Sure.
The bottom line is, you want to take care of your family,
right? And
you want it to do it well, and you want a great life.
So that's where I'm saying, like,
that
you can see and understand that, but you don't necessarily feel it or experience that, because that doesn't really register with you the same as when you're like, well, hey, let's just go. Right. I can see there's value in living life. I can see there's value in having fun. I can see there's value in you, but I don't feel, I'm never going to feel like, hey.
No, so I don't, but I feel this out of that. So if I see that first, if I can see that before we start conversating about it, if I can see that, because we have had conversations, I didn't see it and I saw it in the end while we, had a few words, and then we had to say sorry, If I see that from the beginning, it comes out of this. Now, that's without this, there won't be that full life experience, Sure. So we got to marry it together, and we got to find solutions, real, practical solutions in everyday life with your everyday money and income. How are we going to do that? Yeah. But it starts then. This was awesome, babe. Yeah. Oh my word, I could actually use the prop.
I'm pre-planned. You know that.
But that's what I'm saying. So that is not my initial thing. That doesn't come natural to me. Sure. Even though I love my family and I like to take care of them. But I don't have much of the S and all of that. But I can see that. And so the conversation will be different. Yeah. The communication will be different.
And so, again, no matter where you fall on the personality thing, understanding yourself, understanding your spouse, their approach, understanding your team members in the company, why they do what they do with money, with things where you could say, hey, they're wasting, or they're saving, or they're too slow, or they're too fat, whatever it is. With these things, begin to understand, this is why they approach. There's value in that. Let me value them for who they are and what they're bringing. And then how do we bring these together? Like, what is the financial life we want in our family? Like, your styles may not be the same as ours. Success is going to mean something different to you guys. And so to come to that and say, all right, what is it we actually want in life? And what are we going to do? You may do the jar system, the 5-jar system we talked about. You may do something else. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But coming to where we can value one another, where one of us is not feeling ripped off and run over, because, of course, we are celebrating the value of each individual and what each of you bring. And, life is so much better as a married couple when you're understanding and working together towards something. And it's not a grind, and you feel like you're both going different directions with your finances. And again, that becomes one of the biggest frustrations in marriage. Yeah. And a lot of it is just misunderstanding, all right? Yeah. Because you get in the point of, there may be circumstances where finances are tight or limited or whatever. And then, you know, one person's feeling like they can't live and they're suffocated. The other person's feeling like there's waste everywhere. And so suddenly you become, you know, feel like your enemies almost because, well, you want to just spend everything. And the other ones are like, well, you just want to limit everything and save everything.
You don't want to live.
You don't want to live. Like, you want to take away all the fun and freedom. And, or we're never going to be able to build if we don't take some opportunities or whatever that is. And so just discovering that, because it's going to be different for each of you, and then valuing that. Because, you know, we have differences and we have different approaches.
And they need to be celebrated.
And they need to be celebrated.
So we hope some of that helped you in whatever, you know, our experience. And we're still, like I said, we are still figuring it out. But we have learned certain things about each other, about each other's personality, and especially when it comes to money.
We still disagree on things because...
disagreement is not bad.
No, but that's where I'm saying, like, we may be able to realize why the person's coming from that way. It doesn't mean we necessarily feel it or take that same approach. So again, it's still like, well, you know, I need to consciously see where there's value in that for you, and vice versa, or because we still see it differently. So.
Good.
You're amazing, babe.
That's a wrap.
Cheers.
You are too, babe.
You guys are awesome.
Yes, guys.
Cheers. So, hey.
We will be back next Thursday. Coffee and Convo.
Yes. Money is a tool for you to live your life.
Done yet.
No. Hey, I'm just saying.
No, but it is.
Yeah.
It
so
is.
just use it the way you want to use it to create the life you want. That's it.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
Cheers.